Well, the 2016 RichiePorte Stand Shaker Cycling Classic is almost upon us, and we have got many stars heading down to Launceston in a couple of weeks' time, Sunday, November the 27th, and one of those stars, I'm glad to say, is on the line with us now. We are live here at RichiePorte, the naming rights sponsor of the Stand Shaker Cycling Classic in Rochelle. We now head to Monaco to the house of Richie Porte, who's been good enough to join us this morning. Richie, good morning to you. Thanks very much for taking the time to help and promote this great event coming up.
Morning, and no.
Thanks, Richie. Well, obviously for yourself, it must be very exciting to you to be able to come back and be a part of it, particularly with the developments of the race and that magnificent hill that we've got going up past City Park as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously growing up in and around Launceston, I knew Stand Shaker pretty well as well. So to come back and do the race, it was such a big deal. And I started out cycling to go along and watch the race. But then also this year, the retirement of Matt Goss and Bernie and Westberger.
Absolutely. And for yourself, Richie, how much would it mean to you? I mean, Amanda's had a very busy year, but if you could take out the RichiePorte Stand Shaker Launceston Cycling Classic, what would that mean to you personally?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure of the chances of it this year, but of course I'd love to win the race. It'd mean so much to go back and win in front of the family there in Tassie, but, we'll see. It's such a hard course, and I haven't really done a hell of a lot on the bike in the last few months, but of course, it'd be right up there. It'd be a special moment if you could pull the win off.
It's been a very busy year for you, Richie. Of course, you competed at the Rio Olympics, a fifth placing at the Tour de France, Tour Down Under at the start of the year. How would you sum up your year in 2016? I mean, you've had some great results, but also some hard luck as well. Obviously, the bad luck at Rio and the puncture in the second stage at the Tour de France. But how would you sum up Richie Porte's year in 2016?
Yeah, I think I had a good season. Obviously, to be honest, it was quite bittersweet. Races like the Dauphiné, which I threw away second position. Obviously, the Tour, I was one of the stronger riders there, but to miss out on the podium hurts. But it hasn't all been bad, and I'd love to be able to cap it off with trying to win the race. Stand Shaker.
Yeah, and I know there'll be thousands of people lining the streets in Launceston that will certainly be out there in force cheering you on as well, Richie. But this year, BMC Racing, the team leader, and I guess heading into 2017, you mentioned obviously a little bit of bad luck and not being able to get on that podium. If you take into account, I guess, the time you lost with that puncture early on in the Tour de France, you must take a lot of confidence out of that still as you prepare for a new season next year.
Yeah, for sure. To miss out on the podium by, not a lot of time, and if I hadn't had the puncher, next year it's. I know the Tour route. It's quite a good one for me, and to be quite honest, I'm super excited for next season. I'm looking forward to kicking that all off in the Stand Shaker in Launceston.
No, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And speaking of coming back to Launceston, Richie, how much time do you get to actually chill out this time of the year? And I know you love to catch up with all your cycling mates, and as we mentioned, your family and your friends, but do you get to have a bit of downtime taking the Stand Shaker out of it to enjoy yourself down here for a while?
Yeah, well, I've got, nearly 3 weeks back in Launceston before I have to come back over to Europe. But I think it's just nice to come back to familiar surroundings.
And just to tell us a little bit, Richie, just finally in regards to what does it take, I guess, for the young cyclists of tomorrow that are going to be out there? Well, obviously, we've got a junior clinic that you're going to be part of as well at the Criterium on the Sunday morning. But I guess what insights can you give to life as trying to get to that next level and become a professional bike rider?
I mean, obviously, it's a big step to move over to Europe, which if you want to be a professional cyclist, you're going to have to do. But for me, it's the best career choice I ever made, to get on a plane and move across the other side of the world. But I think Tassie, it's no disadvantage being from Tassie. There's a lot of riders who are probably better known over here in Europe. Will Clark also, what they are in Tassie. But yeah, for sure. I mean, the environment that we have back in Tassie is second to none. Road cycling.
Well, Richie, it's going to be very exciting. Sunday, the 27th of November, the Recycle Stand Shaker Launceston Cycling Classic. We're really excited that you're going to be down here and be a part of the event. Obviously, we've got a lot of great junior talent from around Tasmania and right around the country, as well as from overseas and interstate. So thank you very much for giving us some of your time this morning in Monaco. We wish you well and look forward to seeing you down here in Launceston in a couple of weeks' time.
Thanks for having me, and get around us. It's a fantastic event. Looking forward to it.